Hi students, today we are starting our next chapter, that is photosynthesis in higher plants. We are starting with photosynthesis. It is a photochemical process in which the light energy absorbed by the plant is converted into chemical energy to produce oxygen. However, the process existed for ages, but it was discovered only in 1800. A number of scientists conducted several experiments to prove the existence of photosynthesis. Now here you can see this is sunlight in the presence of carbon dioxide, chlorophyll, water and sunlight. Process of photosynthesis completed, means plant prepare their own food in the presence of carbon dioxide, sunlight, water and chlorophyll, and release of oxygen is there. This is known as photosynthesis. Photosynthesis requires raw materials like water, carbon dioxide, cellular components like plastid, means chlorophyll. Plants utilize these raw materials to synthesize carbohydrates only in the presence of light. These key features of photosynthesis were revealed during the mid-19th century. Below mentioned are the experiments that were conducted by the early scientists in support of photosynthesis. Now experiments to prove carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis. Materials required: a healthy potted plant, a wide-mouthed glass bottle with a split cork, potassium hydroxide solution and star solution. Experiment: select a healthy potted plant and place it in the dark room for 2 or 3 days to ensure leaves are free from starch. In a wide-mouthed glass bottle, add 10 to 15 ml of potassium hydroxide solution and split the cork vertically. Now carefully insert half part of leaf into a glass bottle through the split cork and other half exposure to air. Place the complete unit undisturbed in sunlight for about 3 to 4 hours. After 4 hours, detach the leaf from the plant and slowly remove it out from the bottle and taste it with the star solution. We can observe that a half part leaf which was inside the glass bottle did not show any color change, but the other half part exposure to surroundings turned into dark color, indicating the presence of starch in it. Conclusion: in this experiment we can conclude that carbon dioxide is essential for photosynthesis. Both the portion of leaf received the same amount of water, chloroplast and sunlight, but the half part which was inside the glass bottle did not receive carbon dioxide. Later, many improvised experiments were conducted by scientists to analyze the essential components for photosynthesis. Joseph Priestley was among us the first to carry out these experiments. Now, in 1770, after a series of experiments, Joseph Priestley came to a conclusion regarding the essentiality of air for photosynthesis and also for the growth of plants. Materials required: a bell jar, candle, rat and a plant. Experiment: Priestley kept a burning candle and a rat together in the single bell jar. After some time, candle extinguished and the rat died. For the second time, he kept a burning candle, rat and a green plant together in the bell jar. He observed that neither the candle got extinguished nor rat died. Conclusion: based on his observation, Priestley concluded in the first case the air in the bell jar got polluted by the candle and rat. However, in the second case, the plant re-intestate air that was spoiled by the candle and the rat. You can see here, here it is dyed and here it is not dyed. It is utilized by the plant and release of oxygen is there. But it took another few years to reveal that was exactly released by the plant to keep the rat alive and the candle burning. Other experiment followed by the Priestley, Jan Ingenhousz conducted experiments using the same setup and showed that sunlight is essential for plants to reinstate the air that was spoiled by the candle or rat. Jean Saunier demonstrated that plants absorb carbon dioxide and release oxygen during photosynthesis. Julius Robert Mayer proposed that plants convert light energy into chemical energy. Later, the experiments by Julius von Sachs revealed that glucose was produced by the plant. T.W. Angelman discovered the role of chlorophylls and the Cornelius von Lehn uncovered that is the release of oxygen by plant is from water, not from carbon dioxide. He also gave the general photosynthesis equation. By the mid-19th century, scientists outlined the process of photosynthesis. They concluded that light is essential for photosynthesis and plants use carbon dioxide and water for the preparation of glucose, where water molecules are the hydrogen donors and oxygen is the byproduct of the biological process. We'll see now this is the light absorbed intensity, this is the color of light, wavelength, VIBGYOR, VI, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, red. You can see wavelengths. Here it is starting from 400, 500, 600 and 700. Now chlorophyll B. This molecule has a structure similar to that of chlorophyll A. It absorbs light of 453 nanometer. It is not as abundant as chlorophyll A and probably evolved later. It helps increase the range of light a plant can use for energy. Now carotenoids. This is the class of accessory pigments that occur in all photosynthetic organisms. They are completely hydrophobic, means fat soluble and exist in lipid membrane. Carotenoids absorbed light maximally between 460 nanometer and 550 nm and appear red, orange or yellow to us. We will see, you can see absorption, wavelength 400, 500, 600 and 700. This is carotenoid, this is chlorophyll A and this is chlorophyll B. The most important function of carotenoids seems to be protecting the plant from free radicals from the ultraviolet or other radiations. Free radicals are dangerous because they contain an extra electron they don't really want to have. This means that they are constantly trying to get rid of this extra electron. They do this by attacking whatever bonds they can. An animal system, it is speculated that vitamin E plus radical oxidized, that is radical plus vitamin E oxidized, vitamin E oxidized plus carotenoids, that is vitamin E plus carotenoids, carotenoids oxidized plus vitamin C, that is carotenoids plus vitamin C oxidized. In animals, the vitamin C can flush out of the system since it is soluble in water, which none of other molecules are. Whether this same series of transfer occurs in plant is unknown. In humans, vitamin E or beta carotenes in themselves is not protection against oxidant unless there is a supply of vitamin C to flush it out. In plants, as the vacuole is general safe aqueous repository, the oxidize C and may here wherever carotenoids could not. Xanthophylls are fourth common class of pigments. They are essentially oxidized carotenoids and contain oxygen, and they are usually red and yellow and do not absorb energy as well as carotenoids, and they are fat soluble. So we have studied about pigments of plant: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B, carotene and xanthophyll. Apart from that, we studied other experiments. How different factors were required for photosynthesis, and we started today's topic with photosynthesis. So today whatever I have taught you, I am sending you its PDF. Thank you.